What is going on, King Sport? I'm Azubi Charles, and welcome to another installment of Inside the Lines. On today's show, I'll be joined by 2026 American Heritage quarterback Dia Bell. Dia is the number 46 player in the 2026 class, according to the On3 industry ranking, and one of the top quarterbacks in the country. So, without further ado, let's bring on Mr. Dia Bell.
Thank you for having me.
What's going on, Dia? How's everything going for you today, man?
Good, you?
Good, man. I want to jump right into it. You just got back from Arizona, which looked like a crazy weekend playing 7-on-7 for Hellstar. Talk to me about, how that opportunity came about for you playing for Hellstar, a new 7-on-7 team, just how the tournament was.
Tournament was great. Came out obviously with a victory, so that's obviously the main goal of every tournament we're going into. The opportunity, honestly, one of my good friends, Tay Lockett, class 2026 safety from St. John Bosco. He kind of hit me out of the blue and asked me if I wanted to play for Hellstar because he was going to be playing for them. And from then on, I kind of got in contact with the coaches and stuff like that. And obviously, I brought along Malachi and Coy with me, and that's kind of been that, and kind of building that relationship with them.
Pretty cool. And then for you, for people that don't know, Hellstar is kind of one of the cool brands, for younger guys, these day and ages. For you playing for a team like that and a brand like that you probably knew about before, how cool was that for you?
Oh, it was real cool for me because honestly, I was just getting into that kind of clothing and stuff that they kind of put out there. And that was kind of the hottest brand out for everybody. And obviously it was starting to become a fan favorite and a favorite for me as well. And so when I kind of got that opportunity, I was like, yeah, I want to take this opportunity, obviously.
Pretty cool. And then you going back to Arizona, where you're from, and, you mentioned you brought along, Malachi and Coy. I feel like every 30 minutes I saw a new video of you guys, doing an insane catch or things like that. But I kind of want to talk about one. You had the jump ball in the end zone, scored a touchdown. Talk to me how that all went down. What was that process like? How did you guys get to there?
I mean, it was Championship Sunday. I mean, we want to have fun with it, obviously, too. And we were beating the team by a good little bit. So I got out there for the 2-point conversion, and Malachi threw me the ball. I mean, I played basketball enough to know that I could jump higher than most people. So, I mean, I just went out there, jumped up, and caught it.
Pretty cool. And then 7-on-7, just getting started. Just what are your thoughts about 7-on-7 this year? What are you looking forward to? And how important is it for you to play 7-on-7 with your teammates at American Heritage to build that bond?
No, it means the world to me to be able to play with my teammates in 7-on-7. That honestly just helps us build our relationship even better. Obviously, you get to go out of town with guys and learn more about them, and you get to meet new people. Obviously, that's one thing I'm kind of looking forward to, is meeting all the new players and stuff I'll be playing with, and the new coaches from all around the country, and yeah, just stuff like that.
Cool. And then for you, I mentioned a top 50 prospect in the country. I remember when I first met you, you just started getting your offers rolling in, and now you're real big time. Just talk about how that process has been for you early on. What are some things that you're liking, and what are some things you're looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to meeting as many coaches as possible, whether that be on the East Coast or West Coast, Midwest, Mideast, like all of that. I just want to get out there. I want to be able to put my name out there. Is what all the work I've been putting in is kind of starting to show. I mean, I'm able to portray my talent to those coaches and just kind of build relationships with the ones that enjoy watching me and want to have me play in their program. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to in the rest of this recruiting process. But I mean, I'm just going to keep my head down and keep working, and obviously keep the main thing.
Yep. For you, Miami, a school that kind of offered you over the summer, after camp. Just what's your relationship like with the Hurricanes ever since the offer and just everything like that?
My relationship is great. I mean, obviously I have ties there with my grandpa working there in the front office for a while back when they had their national championship run and stuff like that. So I know those guys really well. I love what Coach Dawson does with his guys in the quarterback room and the offense he runs. And I actually was just talking to Coach Algeron about coming out to their one of their junior days. So I should be trying to get out there if Battle Miami, like, those games don't get in the way. I'm definitely going to be out there in Miami for the junior day. But I love Miami. I mean, it's always been one of my dream schools, obviously, being here, living in Miami most of my life. But my relationship is still growing. I mean, there's still a lot of time for me, but obviously I love my relationship with them, and just keep building off of that.
And then for the people that don't know, Dia's grandfather, Roger Bell, associate athletic director for Miami in the 90s. Just for you, when you step foot on campus, when you're around the coaches, what's that feeling that you get, being at a place you have such close ties to?
No, it honestly feels like a second home. Just having those kind of ties. I mean, my dad grew up all around those guys that work there as well. So I've been kind of raised around the coaching staff and the people around the program. So I mean, it's honestly like a second home. It's in my backyard, so obviously I get to go kind of as I please, which is really cool for me. But yeah, I mean, it's always been kind of like a second home to me.
And then kind of stepping away football, I always like to talk to the guys about so who's Dia Bell away from football when you're not playing ball, when you're not putting up numbers on the field? Who are you away from the gridiron?
I mean, I love to hang out with family. Obviously, that's a big thing for me. Obviously, I play basketball. I play other sports. I love learning about other sports. I mean, I'm just a kind of junkie with sports. I like to learn all about. I mean, tennis. My grandpa played tennis, so I learned all them different sports. My mom played soccer in college, so I know a good bit about soccer. Outside of that, I mean, we used to go fishing a lot as a family as well. That was one of my things growing up. But as football became and sports became more prominent, like it kind of started to get away from me. But I'm hoping to get back to that soon as well.
For sure. And then, a lot of people may know, some people may not know, your father, Roger Bell, played in the NBA for a very, very long time. And I always wanted to ask you, you could have, taken that route, played basketball, but you picked football, it seems like. Just what led you to play football, and focus on that more a little bit?
I mean, I always loved basketball and football. I mean, it came down to the wire. I mean, back in 7th grade is kind of when I made that decision where I was like, yeah, I like football a lot better. I mean, it's nothing against basketball, but just my love for football has always kept growing. I mean, it's not like it hasn't for basketball. I mean, football was just a different type of love I had for football, and my dad always supported me with my decisions. So I mean, when I told him that, obviously, he was not really shocked, but I mean, like he was like, okay, now I gotta help him get where he wants to go with what he wants to do. So I mean, he's been real supportive. My family's been real supportive. Obviously, I still play and play basketball and stuff like that, but football's been my true one sport love for the longest now.
Sure. And then was there, a lot of people have like this one game or one moment where they realize, hey, I can really do something special with this. For you, was there a game, a moment, or something that happened or clicked in you that you said, hey, I really want to take this serious. I think I can do, really well in this sport?
I mean, back when I chose football over basketball for real, I just started grinding, and it was a grind all the way up until obviously I got to this point where I'm starting at a program like American Heritage, and I feel like my first game as a starter this year was really what solidified me as like, yeah, I could really do what I want to do with this, and I'm just gonna keep working to get where I want to go.
It's awesome. And kind of talking about your sophomore year, I talk with Coach, Mike Smith over there at Heritage all the time. He tells me great things about you. Just how's it playing, under Coach Mike Smith and playing for such a big program like American Heritage that has a lot of history behind it?
I love playing for Coach Mike. Coach Mike's always been there for everybody on this team and everybody around this program. Coming from being the strength and conditioning coach to taking the head coach job, Mike's always been that kind of guy where you could have that sort of outside relationship of football and be able to talk to him about certain stuff, and that kind of translate over to football. You trust him a lot, and he's a great guy to be around, and playing at American Heritage, I feel, has held me to a different standard. I mean, obviously playing at such a prestigious program, having a bunch of guys in the NFL and a lot of state championships has only helped me to a certain standard to push me and help me grow to obviously one day be where I want to be, which is the NFL.
That's awesome. And kind of speaking of the NFL leads right into my next question. Is there a guy that you grew up watching that you model your game after, you kind of try to take little things from his game to implement into yours?
There's a lot. I mean, when I was younger, it was more like the Russell Wilsons and the Cam Newtons. I mean, their sort of like ability to create plays with their legs as well as their arm talent. But now it's more like the Patrick Mahomes and the Joe Burrows and Jordan Loves and CJ Stroud's. Like all those guys are really like changing the game for quarterbacks. I mean, all of them in the NFL are great to watch, but those are the ones I take away most of my what I want to put in my game from.
And then, kind of going back to your dad a little bit, he played basketball at the highest level. Just what's some advice or one thing that he's told you that's really stuck with you and you feel like it's helped you, throughout the early parts of your career?
No matter how high or how low you get, if you keep your head down and you keep working, you're gonna get where you're supposed to be at. And I've lived by that. And I've stayed by that in my work ethic and everything I put into football, and it's got me to where I am now. So, I mean, I'm just going to stay with it, and hopefully it takes me even further.
That's awesome. And then kind of to wrap up the show today, I always like to do something I call quick hits. So I'm going to ask, quick, fun questions with you and everything. So first thing, what are 3 things you can't live without?
Can't live without football, obviously a telephone for most people now for communication and stuff like that. And my family.
Okay. What's your go-to pregame song?
Pregame song. I would say Finito by who is that? Chief Keef. That's one of them, but I have a bunch. I can't name them off the top of my head.
That's a class. I remember when I used to play ball, Finito was a go-to in the locker room too. Kind of sticking on music too, who would you say are the top 3 artists in your rotation right now?
Top 3 artists, OT7 Kwani, NBA Youngboy, and who else would I say? Rod Wave probably. I mean, to mix it up.
Yeah, that's nice. I know OT7 Kwani's been going crazy. He's another Hellstar guy too. That's a pretty cool connection right there. What's one food you could eat for the rest of your life?
Sushi.
Sushi, okay. What kind of sushi were you ordering if you go to the restaurant, man?
Oh, I eat most of it. I eat all the shellfish I usually eat, but my go-to at sushi spots is a California roll with raw tuna on top.
Okay.
Raw tuna.
And then, would you rather score a game-winning touchdown on the road or at home?
Man, that really depends the situation, but I would say on the road. Because just because it's a different type of atmosphere. I mean, obviously you love your own home atmosphere, but I feel like I would like to know what it feels like to hit that game-winning touchdown in a away field.
All right, and then last question, NFL playoffs, we're in the midst of it. Who you got taking the Super Bowl?
I like the Ravens, even though I love my Houston Texans with CJ Stroud and them, and I love for them to do that, but I like the Ravens right now.
All right, so first off, we hear DML thinks the Ravens are winning the Super Bowl. Another Dallas guy, Lamar Jackson, so for sure. And then to wrap it all up, Dia, where can everybody find you on social medias, and what is your message to the Canes fans out there watching?
Message to the Canes fans: just keep an eye on me, keep a close eye on the program of the Canes. I mean, I love that program, and just keep an eye out for what they're gonna do and what they're gonna do with their recruiting and what they're gonna do next year as a whole program. And you can find me on Instagram at DKB3, and it's not the number, you got to spell it out. And then on Twitter it's Diabel3QB1.
Sure. Well, Dia, it was a pleasure having you on today. Really do thank you for coming on and chopping up a little bit with today. For everyone watching at home, I hope you enjoyed. And for Diabel, I'm Azubi Charles. Thank you for watching.